Hello Aquarius, this is Molly with School Tarot Astrology. Thank you so much for joining me today for this reading. It is a general, timeless, and collective reading for my Aquarius collective. So maybe it's Sun, Moon, Rising that you've got an Aquarius. Maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius. Maybe you just have a strong Uranus placement. However you tie in to the Aquarian energy at this time. If this reading is for you, it's for you. If it's not, don't take it home, all right? Thank you so much for being here. You guys, I'm not as made up as I typically would be. It's hot. It's really hot today. I went to the beach, I took a nap, just got done with a personal reading where we were talking about a Uranus in Aquarius and in the first degree of Aquarius. When I got done with that, I was like, do I want to do another? And I realized you guys are up next. So here we are. And I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really glad that I decided to do this reading tonight because it feels like you guys are in a bit of a jam, like a little bit of a tight spot, okay? If you guys want any information on me or how to book a reading, all of it is below in the description box. I'd rather just go ahead and dive into the reading. I started off with the Starseed Oracle, and I got this earthed, okay? Now, this is the perfect description for what it means to be an Aquarius. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it, all right? The vibe that I'm getting is that, look, when you are in your own space, Aquarius, you feel good. When you're dealing with other people right now, it doesn't feel so good. All right, it might be a particular set of people, it might be a particular person or a particular environment, right? But what I'm getting, especially with, I have a couple cards that came out from the Alchemical Visions Tarot as well that are a part of your reading. And so we're gonna go through those and just kind of talk about the energy that is surrounding you at this time, okay? Do you see? It's like, I'm seeing two things here. At first, this looked like somebody who had, elevated themselves off of the earth plane, right? And they're surrounded in this beautiful bubble of white light. And that might be something that you're doing in meditation. Because Four of Swords is up next, and we'll talk about that, okay? But then, as I got to looking at this card in the video as I'm reading for you, it actually looks like you're in a bubble and you've been dropped into the water, okay? So, I think you're going through a lot of healing right now. And this card on the bottom of the deck is talking to me. Star bathing. Oh, I love that. Light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Look at it. We got another person in meditation, okay? When you go within, you're doing some work. You're really, really getting things done, okay? But most of all, you're finding peace. You're healing yourself. And healing yourself is how we activate the light body, essentially, right? It's something that is available to all of us, most of us. And it's just a matter of clearing out the clutter that allows your own inner light to shine. And you become aware of that, of your own inner light. But you can really only see it when you're alone and in meditation, right? Dealing with other people is a lot right now. And that's what's causing this plop, this like deep dive, okay? So it might have been like you started meditation to just kind of gain some peace of mind, calm your mind, deal with anxiety, something like that. And what it's turning into is some pretty deep subconscious stuff is going on. It's healing and it's clearing. It's almost like you're trying to understand what is it within you and what is it within your environment? Why are these two things so completely out of harmony with one another? And you've realized, Aquarius, have you really? That's gorgeous. You have realized this is an awareness of the law of attraction, okay? Whether you call it that or not. You're beginning to understand, wait a second, if everybody I hang around with is a jerk, maybe there's a jerk in me that needs to be weeded out, right? And I don't really, like, you're not a jerk. I don't really mean that, Aquarius. But you know what I mean? It's almost like if you're hanging around with people who are dominated by fear. I feel like there's awareness that all these people are in some way a mirror to yourself. And so you've gone within to be like, all right, where's the fear? How do I root that out? Okay? There's a lot of assessment going on because I've got 1 4. This is a meditation card for me. And then 2 7s on the table. 7 is my card of assessment. That means you're really, really analyzing things, trying to get to the bottom of things. All right? Every time I see these images, this, by the way, this Alchemical Visions Tarot, these are images that are meant to speak to your subconscious mind. And so they're very, very, very loaded. And then there's a lot of historical symbolism, which is great for me as a historian. Every time I see this particular card especially, it tells me a different story. What I'm seeing now is that this is a space that you enter in meditation. This is you, okay? You've gone within. And you find yourself in this other state of consciousness. That's beautiful. And you're looking at these. It's weird because it's almost like this figure is a female and that figure is a male, but ignore that, okay? What you've done is you've gone within and you're identifying these aspects of you that are unconscious. Habits, pattern, belief systems that you've been carrying around for a while and not really knowing that they're there. Capricorn had a message a lot like that, okay? So I think there's something very collective going on with all signs, right? Where there's just, and Saturn and Jupiter both being in Aquarius right now, is an energy that wants to break us out of unconscious patterns and cycles. Okay? Because here you are. This is you within your mind. You go in here and there's just so much, it's peaceful, but it's informative. You know what I mean? You've got guides here. You've got the divine present. There's like 4 different suns. And then these keys, you are unlocking some deep stuff right now. You're doing some good work, Aquarius. You're doing good work. I've been here. It's hard, but it's worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it, Aquarius. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. This is what happens when you're walking around in the world. Like, oh my God. You see that headache? But it's also like, I kind of get a hangover vibe from this. Like he wakes up in the middle of the forest and he's just in this cloth and he's like, how did I get here? Look at this. This imagery up here, these suns and these eagles. Look at this. Look at this. And the keys. Keys on trees. That was from the Sand Tarot reading. Was it Pisces? She was talking about keys on trees, whatever that means. Okay? This is, oh man. It might just be synchronicities. Okay? That you're not seeing because you're just kind of like stressed about the world that you are walking through. All right? Because look, you see them in meditation. And these symbols do not show up on all the cards in this deck, I promise you. Look, there's no keys on trees. Okay? Yeah, we got like the 2 cards out of the entire deck that have those 2 symbols. It's even, look at that, like the 2 suns, it's identical. So it's almost like, okay, how do I say this? This guy's not looking at the things in the tree though, right? What he's doing is he's stressed out about the presence of all these pentacles. Pentacles are they're earth energy. You being in the earth, but not of it. In other words, the environment, the external environment that you're walking through right now, the path that you're on, is not quite in alignment with what you're finding to be true about yourself by going within. That's a tremendous realization to make. Okay, something else that I want to say is that for me, like in my own language of symbols, when you're inside of a building, you're protected and by the divine. Okay? When you're outside of a building, you're kind of like, you're exposed to the elements. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like he's literally out in the wild. But he's surrounded by trees, which is wisdom and knowledge and ancestral energy. Right? And there's this one particular tree, this one particular thing in your environment that's trying to show you the same thing that you're seeing in your meditation, but you're not looking at it. You're like, oh, it's just such a headache to be here. This is powerful. This is very powerful. Next up, we have the Seven of Wands, okay? Yeah, I got you. The Seven of Wands is about your defenses, right? Having like, oh, that's why you can't see them. That's why you're not seeing the signs that are available to you in your environment, because you're having to energetically shield yourself so much. And it's like you can do that in meditation, right? But can you shield yourself while you're out in the elements, while you're out in the world? Okay, because look at this. Boom. Here's the shield. Okay. This Seven of Wands is it comes up a lot in my readings when it's talking about guidance or protection from spirit. I also just realized this is the symbol for Earth. Not the alchemical, but the planetary symbol for the planet Earth. Earth is coming up a lot right now. Earth is practical concerns. Earth is patterns, habits, behaviors. Earth is tangible things in the world. It could be people, it could be your environment, but it's probably things that have been around for a little while, okay? The Seven of Wands is, like I said, it's about protection, but look at this image and how much it's reminding me of the Ten of Wands energy, which means you're carrying, like whatever it is that you're doing when you're out in the world, you're carrying a lot of burdens, a lot of heavy energy stuff that you would really rather put down. So I see your dilemma, because I'm sitting here being like, well, what's the answer, Spirit? How do we do this? How do you solve this problem? There's a lot of animals, and so I am going to go to my animal, what's it called? It's an animal tarot deck, and I love it. Animal totem, okay? That's what the Seven of Wands is. It's about, okay. It's about protecting yourself when you go out into the world, because you can protect yourself when you go into meditation, right? But then when you go out into the world and you're around everybody and you're absorbing their energy, or you're just, I feel like the people around you, they're on a whole different vibration. There might be a lot of fear, a lot of practical concerns, a lot of wanting proof for everything. They're in the world, and you're, how do I say it? They are of the world, and you're just in it. That's the energy that I'm getting here, okay? So how do you bring this down? It's through ritual, practice, prayer, intention, okay? I just shared actually with somebody today a visualization that I do to help protect, just to help draw a little bit of an energetic line between my energy and everybody else's energy. Because otherwise, like, I could not do my work. It would drain me. Like, I literally would just do a reading and go to sleep for the rest of the day. So what's going on here, okay, they want me to share that because we actually have this oval here. Basically, the visualization that I do, I imagine that I have this golden egg that my guides have given to me. And I place it up here at my soul star chakra, which is about 6 to 8 inches above the head. And you don't need to know the whole, like, what your energy body is made of or all the different parts of it or all the different chakras in order to be able to do this, okay? I imagine it's been given to me by my guides, that egg. Do you see this egg? It's all coming together. And what I do is I imagine it, it's just a golden sparkly egg, and I imagine it breaking open and liquid light just pouring out of it and creating a bubble around me just like this, okay? And I let it take its time to get down to below my feet where it comes together and it forms like an egg shape around me. And with that, I set the intention, okay, that my energy stays with me unless I consciously give it away. And that the energy that belongs to other people stays with them until or unless, in fact, I don't ever really choose to pull their energy in so much as you choose to engage with it or not engage with it. Because otherwise you are going through the world like a sponge. Especially if you're spending a lot of time in meditation. Like if you got your third eye all open up and then all of a sudden, let me tell that story. Years ago, I started doing some meditation. I think it was really when I first started. This would be like early 2000s. I started doing meditation, and I think that, you know, at that time, my third eye was really very active in a way that I didn't understand. And I also worked in a fast food restaurant. And I was like, there's a lot of customers in and out, okay? And one day I was at work, and I was like, why can I hear everybody's thoughts? And not even their thoughts, but their emotions. And I remember I was literally just ringing this lady up, putting her food in a bag. And I knew that she felt like her husband's or her son's girlfriend was not good enough for him. That's not my business, right? But because I was walking around, opening, like at home in meditation, opening up my third eye and then not knowing how to close it before I went out into the world, I was picking up stuff I didn't need to know. Okay? It's just a little anecdote Spirit led me to share with you at this time. So before you go out into the world, make sure it's mainly about setting that intention. Just be aware of your energy body. And energy responds to thought. It responds to words. It responds to visualization. Know that you have that power, okay? This is actually an ongoing conversation with a friend and I about this very situation. I'm gonna hit pause, grab one more deck. I'm gonna get that Animal Totem Tarot and see if we can't get some more advice for you. All right, guys, I forgot to hit record when I started shuffling these. So if you're interested, by the way, in, if you like how I read and you want me to read for you, hit me up at the information below. We can do that. I do also offer, we got to talk about that, monthly subscriptions. So if you guys want to get a reading from me once a month in your inbox, it is a private, it's an unlisted link on YouTube, and you can actually leave your feedback right there in the comments section. It's my favorite way to get to know my clients and just provide ongoing support for them, okay? So if you're interested, check it out below. This was on the bottom of the deck when I pulled it, started shuffling it, it's showing up again, all right? This Ten of Swords is this headache. You know what I mean? It's got, you can't do that anymore. You can't. You're just not able to continue in this environment. The birds represent thought, and the swords represent thought as well. And you see how like a bird has been killed by a sword? It's almost like a new thought has to come in and an old one, okay? Put an end to some way of doing something, okay? But look at you showing up here, Aquarius. Let's talk about this. This little beaver, didn't I say you were busy, right? Beaver, busy, that's what's going on. What is the beaver doing? Building a dam. Building a dam, okay? You're in the process of learning how to do this sort of spiritual protection. Some of you guys are like astral traveling and creating that projection, that protection for yourself. Some of you guys are not, and you should be. But what I'm saying is, when you're in here, when you go within, you know how to protect yourself from the elements that you will meet there. It's like other people that it might be a little harder for you to protect yourself from. And part of it has to do with a sense of obligation. Listen, babes, know which problems are yours, meaning they come from you and you can solve them, and which are other people's. And it comes from them, and it's up to them to resolve and solve them, all right? All right? Don't go carrying more burdens than you need to. Because this work that you're doing is important. This work that you're doing on yourself is important. And I love that this is the King of Cups energy, because that to me represents mastery of the psychic or inner or astral realms. Hi, Freddie. All right, there's Freddie. It's gorgeous. But here's what I'm being told. Oh, the tree. It's the same tree. Whatever it is that's bugging you in your life, you can address it in your meditation state. You can come to a better understanding of what's going on when you're in your meditation state. Because this is the tree out of which the throne has been carved. Do you get me there? You get what I'm saying, right? It used to be a whole big tree. You had to trim it down. Okay, in order to be the king, in order to achieve that mastery of the psychic and emotional realm, you've got to get to the root of what is giving you a headache. Grounding is very important too, because like let's say you have like a amazing astral travel, right? Like you're off on some other planet, or you're in ancient Egypt. Who knows what you're up to, okay? And then you get up from your meditation, you go to work. Oh, babes, you got to protect. You got to ground yourself back, connect yourself back down into the earth. Ground yourself. Ground yourself before meditation always, but definitely after, is going to help you. The way that I think about it is like you can take all of this that's going on in your meditation state and ground it into the earth to be pulled back up. Like the earth is like a data storage system. Think of it that way. Okay? You've got your roots that I hope you do the visualization. Do you do the visualization, right? Where you allow your own roots to grow down into the earth before you go traveling the astral plane, right? When you come back, take all that information and like, you can just store it. Just take it and place it Allow it to move through your roots into the earth. And understand that anytime you want to access that again, all you got to do is put those roots in, okay? That's a practice I've been using for a while, and it's so good. Because this was me for a long time. Getting up, going to work, and just like still having all my psychic stuff going on up here, right? So in order to be able to channel it and use it as a proper tool, I had to learn how to draw that line, right? How to create that dam between, because it can also lead you to be really, really emotional at times that it just doesn't feel appropriate to be. And you might be like, why am I so emotional right now? This doesn't make sense. Whew, I'm gonna just take that right there. The Magician, that's you. And look at this. The Magician, by the way, has one of all 4 elements. Okay? So he has mastery over the sword, his mind. And we have a sword. There's literally 4 tarot cards on the table before this one. The next one is strength, by the way. That came up in Capricorn. Maybe Capricorn. Strength's been coming up for everybody, to tell you the truth. He's got the sword. You got the sword. He's got the pentacle. Yeah, they're kind of stressing you out right now, but look, you do have your own. You do have your own pentacle. He's got a wand. And he's got a cup. And when you're in balance, we say light body. Listen, to me, that's the discovery that I made, is that when my physical, my emotional, my mental, and my energetic bodies are in harmony, that's when your light body can activate. That's when you really do step into this magician creator energy. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, you're doing really good work right now, Aquarius. You're doing amazing work by going within, because you know that whatever we got going on inside is what attracts what's going on outside, right? As within, so without. And you're getting to the bottom of why you're attracting, or at least still surrounded by, some things that are not in alignment with you. And this is where you're headed. I just love it. I absolutely love it. I hope you love it too, you guys. I hope that this reading has brought you some sort of comfort, clarity, or guidance. Next round, we're going to have an extended for you, so definitely make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell, like the message if you liked the message, and drop a comment if you feel like it. All right? I hope to see you guys back here again soon. Take care.